Let's start with my favorite, military bases that literally disappear when the ice melts. America and Russia operate on drifting ice floes in the Arctic Ocean. Every 2 years, the US runs Operation Ice Camp, where nuclear submarines punch through 2 meters of ice to surface in the middle of nowhere. Ice Camp 2024 housed 60 personnel at minus 60 Fahrenheit for 5 weeks, while USS Hampton and USS Indiana surfaced through the pack. Russia pioneered this in 1937. 88 Soviet crews lived on drifting ice for 29,000 days total. Climate change killed the program when ice melted prematurely beneath crews. Russia's solution is Severomorsk, a self-propelled icebreaker that intentionally freezes into Arctic ice and drifts for 2 years supporting scientists, then breaks free. And now the permanent bases, starting with Severomorsk. Severomorsk on the Kola Peninsula houses 2/3 of Russia's naval nuclear arsenal, founded as Northern Fleet headquarters in 1951. Bory-class submarines carrying Bulava missiles with 5,000 miles range can strike North America without leaving port, while underground pens carved into granite conceal Yasin-class attack submarines from satellites. 10,000 personnel operate year-round, aided by Gulfstream, keeping waters ice-free while competitor bases freeze. Naval aviation operates 2 142 Maritime Patrol aircraft and MiG-31K fighters carrying Kinjal hypersonic missiles with 1,250 miles range. Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. JBER, located near Anchorage and operates with 20,000 personnel, which is more than the population of most small cities in Alaska. Here trains 11th Airborne Division for Arctic warfare, alongside F-22 Raptors that place the Russian Far East within a 2-hour flight. Alaska's buildup accelerated after 2022 with integrated air defense preparing for Arctic conflict. But nature remains deadliest. Personnel face moose and bears wandering onto runways, requiring daily wildlife patrols to prevent collisions with $60 million fighters. Eielson Air Force Base. Eielson is working in close coordination with JBER. It hosts the world's largest fifth-generation concentration of F-35 and F-22 squadrons since 2021. That's more stealth capability than most countries possess entirely. F-35s with 620-mile combat radius easily cover Russian Arctic bases. Alaska's climate demands respect. Minus 58 Fahrenheit requires aircraft to sit in heated shelters for hours before flight. Arctic Trefoil. Arctic Trefoil is the world's second northernmost base, 620 miles from the North Pole. It is also the world's northernmost full-scale military airfield, opened in 2017. The runway operates MiG-31 interceptors with 180 miles range, extending Russia's air defense deep into the Arctic Ocean. Supply flights require mid-air refueling over 1,900 miles distances with no alternate landing sites. Russia built over 475 Arctic installations since 2014, and Arctic Trefoil symbolizes that expansion. Pituffik Space Base. Pituffik sits 590 miles from the North Pole, built 1952. This base sees threats before anyone else. The ANFPS-132 radar detects Russian ICBM launches within seconds, tracking objects the size of a basketball at 3,000 miles range. Pituffik data feeds directly into NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command. 600 personnel rotate 6-month deployments at minus 40 Fahrenheit with 4-month polar night. With the sea locked in ice for most of the year, the 10,000-foot runway is the base's only lifeline, allowing heavy transport planes to supply the facility. Bodo and Reitan. Bodo and Reitan are Norway's primary Arctic military hub. Reitan is a Cold War-era command bunker carved deep into a granite mountain, serving as the Norwegian joint headquarters for all alliance operations in the high north. 10 miles away, Bodo Air Base hosts the NATO Combined Air Operations Center and F-35 squadrons. From here, stealth fighters reach Russia's Northern Fleet nuclear pens in under 30 minutes. Northern Clover and Temp Air Base. Kotelny Island hosts 2 critical facilities, Northern Clover and Temp Air Base. Both opened 2015, controlling the choke point between Laptov and East Siberian Seas, where Northern Sea Route shipping passes. Northern Clover houses 250 personnel operating MiG-31 interceptors and air defense systems. Temp serves as Russia's Arctic logistics lifeline, with underground heated warehouses protecting fuel from minus 76 Fahrenheit. Russia operates this complex despite enormous expense to control Arctic shipping lanes worth trillions. Rogachevo. Rogachevo on Newland Island guards Russia's northern nuclear test site, where over 200 weapons detonated 1955 to 1990, including the 50-megaton Tsar Bomba, history's largest nuclear explosion. S-400 systems with 250 miles range protect this radioactive island. 300 personnel endure isolation where polar bears outnumber humans 10 to 1. Russia maintains this base because controlling Arctic waters matters more than living on contaminated ground. Station Nord. Station Nord at 81 degrees latitude is the world's northernmost permanent military post, established 1952. Fewer than 10 personnel support the elite Sirius Patrol. Danish soldiers conducting 4-month expeditions by dog sled across 11,600 square miles. Patrols operate in teams of 2 with dog teams and rifles at -60 Fahrenheit, where polar bears present constant threat. No combat aircraft, no missiles, just Danes on dog sleds proving sovereignty through endurance. Rovaniemi Air Base. Rovaniemi on the Arctic Circle receives F-35s late 2026, transforming it into a NATO air power hub just 125 miles from Russian border. The runway includes heated sections preventing ice buildup, a Finnish innovation, while underground hangars carved into bedrock protect aircraft. Finland's NATO membership extended alliance border with Russia by 800 miles overnight, monitoring Russia's Kola Peninsula. Russian Air Defense Network. Russia operates integrated air defense on Wrangel Island, Cape Schmidt, and Tixi, forming a chain along Arctic coast. Wrangel sits 200 kilometers from Alaska, tracking every aircraft crossing Bering Strait. Cape Schmidt's S-300 systems guard the narrowest gap between Russian and American airspace, and Tixi monitors Central Arctic. Russia built this network for early warning against threats crossing the Arctic, the shortest route between continents. Lulea-Kallax. Lulea-Kallax expanded since Sweden joined NATO 2024, operating JAS-39 Gripen fighters. A unique part of their strategy is that reinforced sections of Swedish highways double as an emergency runway. These highway strips allow Gripen jets to disperse and rearm on public roads in minutes, making the Air Force nearly impossible to ground as forest roads become functional frontline bases. Keflavik Air Base. Keflavik built 1943 and hosts rotational NATO air policing since Iceland maintains no military. America withdrew permanent forces in 2006 but maintains the facility. F-15, Typhoons, and F-35 rotate through. Iceland's position astride the GI-UK gap, the choke point between Greenland, Iceland, and United Kingdom that monitors Russian naval activity. Camp Viking. Camp Viking trains UK Royal Marines for Arctic warfare near Russian borders since 2019. Fighting in the Arctic requires specialized skills you can't learn anywhere else, including amphibious landings on frozen coastlines that demand completely different tactics. The facility hosts rotating NATO forces training at -20 Fahrenheit where standard equipment fails. Point Barrow. Point Barrow is the northernmost U.S. military installation, features an ANFPS-117 radar with a 280 miles detection range, operates as a minimally attended site feeding data directly to NORAD, serves as the primary early warning link between the Russian Far East and the North American interior. But main risk is a coastal erosion, which removes up to 15 meters of shoreline annually. Yellow River Station. China established its Yellow River Station in 2004 and later called itself a near-Arctic state, a claim rejected by the international community. Analysts suspect the facility serves dual-use purposes, including monitoring NATO communications. Ultimately, the station symbolizes China's global ambitions to project power into the Arctic despite having no geographic justification.